All right, hello class, and welcome to your final presentation. So, what are you going to be doing today is kind of walking through step by step what is it that you actually have to do. Because I know when I explained this in class, it probably went in one ear and out the other one. So, we're going to take some time to break this down so we can make sure that you do this correctly because this is the last brouhaha. All right, so first step is you're going to start here. Remember that on this particular slide, you are going to be labeling this part your title. So, whatever it is that you want to call your water filter or your channel, your brand, your business, the sky is actually the limit here. Okay. And this, you want to personalize all of this right here. You have to change this because you're not in a fourth grade class, right? You're in an environmental science class. So you can label this environmental science class, or you can change this over to whatever makes you the happiest, and it explains what your filter is about. Okay. Now, don't forget that you do want to change this to your logo. Would be my suggestion is, go ahead and go into your Canva and plug your logo in here. Okay. So your logo will go there. Now, here, I want you to record a video, basically introducing your business, your brand. Because remember, the premise of this is you want to put it as if you're selling. So we're pretending that you're an engineer for the day and you are selling this water filter to the good citizens of St. Joseph, Louisiana, and you want them to buy this thing, right? So you got to kind of introduce yourself to your audience, all right? Just kind of talk about who you are, what you're doing. So that might require you to do a little bit of research on maybe a civil engineer or something of that matter. All right, so again, pause, take a moment, and just kind of think about what is it that you want to convey to your audience. All right, all right. So now, here is where we are. The next slide. So now, again, here you are going to talk about your filter. So in this particular one, I want you to have your filter in hand. So for example, if this is your filter, you would sit and you say, "Hi, this is the latest Chalkonator." And talking about your filter, kind of showing it off, like what it looks like and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to put that back down right there. And so again, you're just introducing your brand here and talking about your actual filter. And in this scene, you want to show your filter, whether this be picture, a video, or anything, whatever it is that you need to do. Now, for this one, if you recall in class, I had you to screenshot your table because in science, everything rests on your data. You can't just talk about it. Like, we can't just make videos. We have to actually prove that this filter is filtering like we say that it is. So what I want you to do here, it doesn't need to be videos unless you want it to be videos, but if you want to keep it simple and just do the pictures, remember if you go to the slideshow that we created, no, I want to go to this one. If you go to the slideshow that we created, I had you all to drop in, so let's see, move that a little bit. I had you all to drop in your table here. Remember, you're supposed to put your name and then your before and then your after. So all I want you to do is take what you've already done, because these things are done. I want you to take what you already have completed, copy, and then paste that over onto this slide. And then next to it, you just give a brief summary of if your filter actually filtered, right? That's what you want to talk about here. Base it on the science. Okay. All right. Now, for your prototype and your background research. So maybe here at the top, you want to drop your prototype. Recall, I've already asked you all to create prototypes. So I don't know, I'm going to see, let's say that this one was my prototype. Or just to be fair, what if, this one was my prototype, right? I would want to take my prototype. I would again copy it. And then I would paste it here. And I would write the prototype, maybe the name of it, and just kind of background of what you put in there. And you can grab that straight off of your lab report. If you go straight to your lab report document, if you don't remember what I'm talking about. So I'm going to pull that up for you really quickly. So you're going to your drive and then you want to pull up your lab report. And typically, since we've been working on this, it should be one of your recents. If it's not one of your recents, then you can go into your search and put in water filtration, and then it should pick up for you. So here's my water filter one. All right, so again, remember when you were doing your lab reports, you had a part where you had to kind of list what materials you use and why. So that would be the perfect time to take what you've already created and then copy it over to this document. Now, your background research. For this one, I want to hear you talk about it. Tell me all about the research that you did, okay? And then next to it, list your sources. Remember, you needed to have at least 3 sources that kind of gave you that background information on how you built your filter. So here you're talking about it, and then you're going to cite your sources here, okay? All right. So thumbs up. Now, your procedures. Remember, your job was to record yourself building your filter. But what if you forgot? That's okay, because what you can do is you can take a picture and then you can use your screen recording and you can talk about the steps that you took to build that filter. So it's okay. So you want to put that there, and then maybe here on the side, if you want, you can list those steps as well. Because again, if you go back to your lab report, you've already listed out your procedures at number 8. So you're copying and pasting. Again, we're just bringing our lab report alive. We want to take this bland drab thing and like bring it alive. So again, you have done a lot of these steps already. All right, so good. Now, the design process. For this one, I want you to take your science notebook, and all I want you to do is look at that engineering design process that we use. If you forgot what the engineering design process is, if you go into your Schoology and you go to the digital notebook, so I'm going to open up our digital notebook. And we had you had to draw this into your notebook. It was page, I don't remember off the top of my head, but page 54. So you would want to open this up, okay? And you just kind of walk me through. Walk me through, what is it that you did? What was the problem? How did you imagine and develop solutions for it? How did you select the solution for the problem that I gave you? Talk about your prototype. Talk about the test. And then kind of tell me about how did you improve the design, or how would you refine the design if you had to? And then talk about like your needs and your constraints. And again, no particular order, because like I tell you in science, it's not this linear thing. We all enter at different points. So in your video, you're just talking about that there. And again, you have the one in your science notebook, or you can go to the digital notebook and you can get the information that you need from there. And then experimentation. So this was you pouring your water. Like, I can't wait to see it. So I want you to make a video or add in your video of you pouring your water, watching it run through. Like, what color did your water turn? How did it look? You know, you want all of that. You want to convey that excitement so that I'm like, I want this filter, you know, to filter out my water. So that's what you're doing here. Again, if you just have a video explaining everything, you don't have to put typed words there. You can get rid of that if you would like. And your analysis is basically you answering these questions. Again, you can screen record yourself going through your analysis questions. Here are your analysis questions that you need to answer. So you are free to screen record and just record yourself going over those questions there. Okay. And then lastly, drawing your conclusions. Where do you get your conclusions from? If you go here, you have like your little reflection conclusion questions that you need to answer. So you'll just answer those things there. So you have your draw conclusions. So in the conclusions, I just want you to tell me, like, did your filter work? When you look at your before and your after, based on that, do you need to rethink your hypothesis, or is your hypothesis good? And that means you just need to go run the test a couple of more times. All right. And then your reflection, you talk about your even better ifs, if you have any. And then lastly, to close this out, I do want you to bring it back to the science. Tell me, what was your hypothesis? What were your variables? What were your independent and dependent variables? What was your control? What was your constant? Like, what were those elements that make for a good scientific experiment is what you want to put there. Now, the rest of these slides that I've included, slide 12, 13 on down, these are additional slides should you feel like you need them. If you don't need these slides, you can certainly get rid of them because they're not needed, okay? So that's pretty much all that you're doing for your presentation. I want you to have fun with this. And again, as the video goes, you pause at your breaks and all of that stuff. So Happy learning and goodbye.